Hello, wonderful listeners. Welcome to another vibrant episode of the Peter and Lyly Podcast, your warm and welcoming space for learning English and igniting real change in your life. I'm Lyly, and I'm beyond excited to be here with my amazing co-host, Peter. How's your day going, Peter?
Lyly, I'm absolutely buzzing with energy today. Ready to dive into something truly inspiring? What about you? What's got you so fired up?
Oh, Peter, I'm thrilled. This morning, as I was sipping my tea, I started thinking about something big. Why do some people completely transform their lives, like they go from feeling lost to absolutely unstoppable, while others seem to stay stuck in the same old routine?
That's such a relatable question, Lyly. I've wondered that myself. You see someone go from struggling to thriving, and you can't help but wonder what's their secret. Is it just luck, or is there something we can all learn from?
Exactly. It reminds me of when I first started learning English. It felt like I was wading through a sea of new words and grammar rules, thinking I'd never make it. But then, little by little, things started to make sense. It wasn't one big breakthrough. It was all the tiny steps that added up.
I hear you. I used to think, if I could just memorize every word in the dictionary, I'd be fluent. But it wasn't about cramming vocabulary, it was about building habits, changing my mindset, and actually using what I learned in real conversations.
So true. And that's when it clicked for me. Life works the same way. Big transformations, whether it's mastering a language or reshaping your entire life, don't come from one dramatic moment. It's about the small, consistent choices we make every single day.
That's exactly what we're exploring today, folks. How to unleash your best self and create lasting change in your life.
And here's the fun part. We're sprinkling in some intermediate level English words and phrases today. Don't worry, we'll break them down later in our vocabulary spotlight, explaining what they mean and how to use them in everyday conversations.
So stick with us. By the end of this episode, you'll walk away with practical steps to transform your life and new English skills to express yourself with confidence.
All right, Peter, let's jump in. We're talking about change, but why do so many people find it so hard to take that first step?
Great question, Lyly. Change sounds exciting, doesn't it? A fresh start, a new chapter. But let's be honest, most people stay stuck. Why? Because change feels like stepping into the unknown, and that's terrifying. Let's unpack the biggest reasons people hit a wall.
First up, there's the fear of failure. So many of us think, what if I try and it all falls apart? But here's the flip side. What if you try and it works? Every successful person has stumbled along the way. The difference is they kept moving forward.
Absolutely. Another big roadblock is not knowing where to begin. People want a better life, maybe a new skill, a healthier lifestyle, or a dream career. But they feel overwhelmed, like they need a perfect roadmap before they can even take a step.
And then there's that sneaky voice in our heads, negative self-talk. Thoughts like, I'm not cut out for this, or I'll never get the hang of it. Those words can stop you before you even start.
And don't get me started on waiting for the right moment. People say, I'll start when I feel inspired. But the truth is, motivation doesn't just show up. It's like a spark that ignites after you take action.
That reminds me of a time I was stuck on a personal challenge. I kept waiting for this magical burst of energy to tackle it, but it never came. Then one day, I just decided to do something, anything. That tiny step changed everything.
I've been there, Lyly. I had a similar moment with English. Early on, I thought, I'm not good enough to speak yet. But the moment I started practicing, even with all my mistakes, things began to shift. It wasn't perfect, but it was progress.
Exactly. And that's our first big takeaway. Figuring out what's holding you back is the key to moving forward. Once you spot those barriers, you can start dismantling them one by one.
So, Lyly, now that we've identified what keeps people stuck, how do we actually start making changes?
It all comes down to small, daily wins, Peter. People often think transformation means a massive overhaul, but real change is built brick by brick. Have you ever heard of the 1% rule?
Oh, yes. The idea that improving just 1% every day can make you 37 times better in a year? It's like planting a tiny seed and watching it grow into a massive tree over time.
Exactly. It's all about the power of habits. I love how James Clear puts it in Atomic Habits. Your habits shape who you become. Small actions, like practicing English for 10 minutes a day, or swapping one negative thought for a positive one, might seem minor, but they compound into something life-changing.
I know someone who became fluent in English just by watching one short video a day and repeating the phrases they heard. No fancy courses, no intense study sessions. Just consistent, bite-sized efforts.
That's so inspiring. It shows that you don't need to overhaul your life overnight. Just pick one small habit today. Maybe it's reading a page in English, going for a 5-minute walk, or even writing down one thing you're grateful for.
Absolutely, Lyly. And while habits are crucial, there's something even deeper that sets the foundation for change.
Oh, mindset is everything. It's like the lens through which we see the world. Have you heard of the growth mindset versus the fixed mindset?
Totally. A growth mindset says, I can get better with effort. A fixed mindset says, this is just who I am and I can't change. That difference shapes everything.
And here's something fascinating. Our brains are wired to notice what we focus on. There's this part of the brain called the reticular activating system, or RAS. It's like a filter that highlights whatever you're paying attention to.
Yes, like when you learn a new English word and suddenly hear it everywhere. If you keep telling yourself, I'm terrible at this, your brain will find proof to back that up. But if you say, I'm improving every day, your brain starts spotting evidence of your progress.
That's why rewiring your mindset is so powerful. 3 ways to do that: affirmations, visualization, and gratitude.
Love that. Saying things like, I'm growing stronger every day, reshapes your thoughts. Visualizing yourself succeeding, like nailing a conversation in English, makes it feel possible. And gratitude, it's like a reset button for your brain, helping you focus on what's going well instead of what's going wrong.
Exactly. It's not magic. It's about training your brain to work for you, not against you.
Now, let's talk about another trap, waiting for the perfect time to start. So many people believe they need to be completely ready before they take action.
Oh, I've been there. When I started learning English, I kept putting off speaking because I thought I'm not good enough yet. But the more I waited, the harder it became.
Same here, Lily. But when I finally jumped in and started speaking, mistakes and all, I realized something. Progress builds confidence, not the other way around.
That's such a key point. There's a saying I love, done is better than perfect. Waiting for perfection is a recipe for staying stuck. Whether it's learning English, starting a new habit, or making a big life change, just begin.
Absolutely. So here's a challenge for our listeners. Think of one thing you've been putting off. Maybe it's practicing English, trying a new workout, or reaching out for a new opportunity. Take one small step today. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, today.
Because action creates momentum, and momentum builds confidence. That's how change happens.
You know, Lily, another huge factor in creating change is our environment. The people we hang out with, the content we consume, it all shapes our habits and decisions.
So true. There's a saying, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you're surrounded by people who lift you up, you'll naturally start to grow. But if you're around negativity, it's like trying to run with weights on your ankles.
Exactly. So how do we create an environment that supports growth? One way is to seek out positive influences, follow inspiring people online, read books that challenge you, or listen to podcasts like ours.
And joining communities is huge. Whether it's an English learning group, a fitness community, or a book club, being around people who share your goals keeps you motivated.
Totally. And just as important as adding positive influences is reducing exposure to negativity. That could mean spending less time with people who constantly complain or cutting down on social media that drains your energy.
I had a moment like that when I was learning English. I felt stuck until I joined an online language group. Suddenly, I had people to practice with, share struggles, and celebrate progress. That made all the difference.
That's such a great example, Lily. Your environment can either hold you back or propel you forward. So listeners, ask yourself, who are you spending time with? Are they helping you grow or are they holding you back? If they're not pushing you to be better, it might be time to make some adjustments.
And speaking of growth, let's dive into our vocabulary spotlight. Today we use some powerful words and phrases that can help you express your ideas more clearly. Let's break them down.
Awesome, Lily. I'll start with the first one, unleash. This means to release or set free, like letting something powerful out. For example, unleash your potential means letting your best self shine. You could say, this year I want to unleash my confidence in speaking English.
Great one. Next up is overwhelm. This means feeling buried under too much, like being swamped. For instance, I felt overwhelmed by all the grammar rules at first. You might use it like, don't let your to-do list overwhelm you. Just tackle one task at a time.
Nice. Another one is compound. This means building up gradually over time, like small habits compound into big results. You could say practicing English daily compounds into fluency over time.
Love that. And here's one more, propel. It means to push or drive something forward. For instance, positive feedback propelled me to keep learning. You might say, her support propelled me to chase my dreams.
Those are fantastic words, Lily. Listeners, try using unleash, overwhelm, compound, and propel in your own sentences this week. It'll help you make them part of your everyday English.
Absolutely. So, Peter, if we had to leave our listeners with one big takeaway from today's episode, what would it be?
I'd say it's this. You have more control over your life than you think. Small actions, the right mindset, and a supportive environment can completely transform your life.
So true. Change doesn't happen overnight, but every step you take gets you closer to where you want to be. We'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment and tell us one small change you're making today.
And if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, share it with a friend, and leave us a review. Let's keep growing together.
Until next time, this is the Peter and Lyly Podcast. See you soon.